right? Just 1 second. Cough. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Panel, 2 extensions in my speech. Firstly, why intimacy and security and trust is far superior in monogamous relationships as opposed to polyamorous one, leading to more happiness. And secondly, why decision-making is made in a way that is more satisfactory to you, leading to more happiness overall in life and satisfaction from the relationship. Before that, 1 point of rebuttal to CG, to the extension that we get from that I have in their speech, 1 point of rebuttal to OG that will lead me to my friend. CG tell us there is more chance for self-discovery because of experience. There's no analysis why that is in fact stronger than if you have like a sequential monogamous relationship that is the status quo for most people right now. But actually, no, it's actually worse, because knowing yourself by their own analysis happens when you know the other person, like the other partner in the relationships. In a relationship where you have, in a polyamorous one, when you have less connection, less attention, less shared time over time with your partners, this mechanism is weaker. That means that self-discovery in our side of the house, which is a series of relationships where you discover yourself through the full attention, the full connection with the other partner, is simply stronger. OG say, monogamy is an invention of the last 200 years. That's nonsense. Monogamy rose up independently across multiple human societies across history. You can even see that in like creation myths, like e.g. Adam and Eve, which, while not historically actually accurate, reflect how people of that time perceived themselves, their society, and the world around them, and how they're organized. People chose to organize themselves in monogamous relationships across history and not to do a pressure from society or from a single society. Why is that? Let's explain. Firstly, because intimacy and love in these sort of relationships is simply better than in the comparative. Let's start by talking about security and jealousy that we start getting from opening half. Let's solve this clash. Oh, say there's less security simply because you have less attention time, less percent of the time, and therefore you're more jealous. CG say, well, jealousy might be bigger when you have in the status quo that is monogamous. What is jealousy? Jealousy is you being afraid of competition. And there's more here than attention and time division. In a monogamy, your competition is simply outside of the relationship. Hasn't been done the technical work of getting to know them, of forming a relationship with them, of forming shared interests, of forming shared compassion. There haven't been formed the connections of love that do happen in polyamory. There might be some fear, but it's relaxed by the overwhelming presence of affection that is displayed only to you. In polyamory, all of that is reversed. Like the danger of affection to other people is way more concrete, is way more in front of your eyes. It's way more emphasized by day-to-day occurrences of showing affection to the other person who you may be jealous of. And also they already have that love connection. Here comes in the biological feeling of jealousy, which is a biological mechanism and not a societal one, because other monkey sees has something that they want, they will want that as well. They feel jealous. You feel more jealous, not because of the attention, because simply of the danger of competition, and therefore you feel less secure. But let's add to that other mechanism of security. You have more trust in a monogamous relationship, because that is engendered by day-to-day habits, by starting and ending every day with your partner, by having that stability, by having that a feeling of this is going to be the same over time, over and over. I can trust this. There's more, therefore there's more trust. Also, because of that additional point, there's more chance that you will do the psychological, emotional labor of opening up, of being vulnerable to the other person, of showing them what you're afraid of, and being able to listen to their criticism from the understanding that they're not being mean to you, that they're not condescending over you, but because they love you and they want to make you feel better. All of that creates more security, more love, more intimacy. Also, you feel less neglected because now you see the other person, and neglect creates a feeling of resentment, which reduces security, reduces trust. All of these mean you're more intimate, you're more affectionate, you're more loving, which is the specific things that people look for in a relationship. They are stronger in a monogamy. Let's move on to decision making. Before that, I'll take any POI. CG. Okay, I offered. Let's talk about decision-making. Again, decision-making is done in a way that satisfies you in a what greater degree. That means more happiness, more satisfaction for a relationship, and also another mechanism for more security, which is important to debate. What kind of decisions are we talking about? The crucial ones. Where are you going to live, like as a family? How many children are you going to have? How are you going to educate and raise them? The things that are most important for you in a relationship. Now, how is this done in a couple, in a monogamy? Each party brings their own wishes, their own deal breakers, the thing that they want the most, and they talk until they reach a compromise. Because of the trust and the security, you realize that this compromise is something that is best for the both of you, and therefore you feel more satisfied and more happy. Something like, I want to live in a big city, you want to live in the village, let's compromise and live in like a medium-sized town or something like that with access to nature. That sort of compromise, which enables you to keep on the relation going. On their side, when you have multiple people within this decision-making apparatus, are you going to vote? Maybe. Is there going to be massive pressure from the members of the group that are maybe momentarily higher up in the social hierarchy within that group, because every group has a social hierarchy? Probably. The bottom line is you're likely to get voted out, like literally, like not getting the thing that you want. That's why we ask about the single person who really doesn't want to live in a big city, and then is forced to there because the other member of the group really want to. The bottom line here, it's really likely that you'll be significantly unhappy by something that is crucial to you. OG respond to our POI by saying, well, you can find other 4 people. Hold on. If breaking up the relationship is on the table, obviously it's easier to find a single partner who shares your interests, who shares your wishes, you are able to form these connections with, be happy with, be vulnerable with, as opposed to finding 4 other people. This is simply better on our side. This is why people feel more secure, more intimate, more loved in monogamous relationships, which is why they have organized themselves in this sort of relationships throughout time, which is why it's the status quo that we defend. For these multiple reasons, oppose.
I thank the member of OP for that speech. Now I'd like to call up the Gov Whip to conclude the case for government bench. Hear, hear.